Hello dear students, welcome back to your science classes. How are you all? I hope you all are healthy and doing well. So students, I'm your science educator and today we have chapter number 8 which is about safety and first aid. So in this chapter we are going to learn about the safety habits which we have to perform to save ourselves from our enemies or from dangerous things, and the first aid we have to do if we have any kind of injury. So what are the things we have to do at that time? So before starting this chapter, have a look on the learning objectives. First of all, we have to see the safety at home, in the kitchen, in the bathroom, in the garden, how we have to, what are the habits we have to perform in these areas. Now, after this, we have to perform the safety rules in this school, and after this, we have to some safety habits which we have to consider in our mind while we walking on the road. So let's get started. You have already learned the rules of safety at home, at school, in the playground, while traveling by bus and on the road. Here we will learn more about the safety rules. So in our earlier classes, we already learned about the different safety rules, but now we are going to add some more safety rules in your safety because we need our cute little stars will be healthy and away from any kind of danger. So first of all, while we in our home, so nearly all accidents that occur in home can be prevented by following basic safety rules. Okay, what are those safety rules? Basic safety rules basically in kitchen. Never use chair, a table or a pile of boxes as a ladder. Use a proper ladder and have someone to hold it for if you possible. Hold it for you if possible. So what we have to consider that what happen if you want to eat bone vita and which is placed in the upper shelf of the kitchen. So what you do, you just collect some boxes one upon one and then try to stand on it and try to catch your thing. Okay, but what will happen, it will result in your fracture, it will result into any kind of injury. So always keep in mind, if you want to taken out something from upper shelf, so first of all use a proper ladder and try to do this with your brother or sister and told them that you have to hold it properly. So what happened, both of you get your bonvita, you can eat it without milk, without permission of mama, and you are safe as well. Okay students, so always keep in mind, if you want to take anything from upper shelf, so always use ladder. After this, to prevent cuts, keeping kitchen knives or other sharp tools in rack or box. You are so childish that you are using knives and sharp things to play with it. If you are doing this, so what will happen? It will give you a cut. It will give you an injury. So always keep in mind, never use kitchen accessories as your toys. Okay. Next, we have sweep away broken glasses as soon as possible. Never pick up glass piece with bare hand. So always keep in mind, you don't have to take, you don't have, you, there is no need to pick any kind, there is no need to pick broken glasses with your bare hands, otherwise you have injury. Now prevents falls by mopping up water, grease or any other spills on the floor. Always keep in mind, if there is water or anything which will help you to spill on the ground, so you have to first clean it. Be careful not to burn or scald. Be careful not to burn or scald yourself while holding cooked foods, etc. And always keep in mind, always take your food from the part of the utensil where which is not hot. If you touch it or if you take it with the where it is hot, so it will burnt you and scald you. Okay. Next, what are the safety habits which we have to perform in the bathroom? To prevent falls, use non-slippery sandals or slippers. Always keep in mind that you have your non-slippery sandals in bathroom. Otherwise, you have a chance to fall down on it. Keep soap in a holder so you can reach it easily, and always make sure you have your soap inside your soap holder. Quickly clean up spilled lotions, liquid and powders to prevent slipping. Always keep in mind, if you have any kind of shampoo, soap which is feel slippery, so what you have to do, you have to clean it as soon as possible, otherwise it will result into your injury. Now what are the safety habits which we have to perform in the garden? Use work gloves to protect your hands from cuts and scratches. Keep your garden tools in a garage. Never leave them lying around. Always keep in mind, while you're doing any kind of work in garden, you have to wear your gloves and your equipment should be at the place they would be. They never lay down on the ground. After that, what are the safety rules we have to consider while we do anything with electricity. So dry your hands thoroughly before using an electric appliance. For example, if you want to connect any cable to the holder, so what we have to keep in mind that your hands should be dry, your hands should be clean, okay, not wet, okay. So now careless use of electricity is very dangerous. It can be fatal. So if you use your wet hands, so it can be result into a fatal. Never connect too many electric appliances on to one extension. So what will happen that you want to charge your PF5, if you want to charge your mobile phone, if you want to charge your laptop, so what will be, you just plug all the plugs in one holder only, so it will be result into a big shock, okay. So always keep in mind, don't use so many things at one extension only, okay. Next we have safety from fire. Never play with fire. Don't try to do this, okay. And always away from your kitchen gas, okay. Avoid piling up rubbish and unused items as fires can easily start. In such condition, ensure you have fire extinguisher and smoke detectors on hand, okay. Other precautions which we have to perform: avoid leaving toys, shoes and other objects on the floor where someone could trip or over them. So someone can trip over them and someone can have a slip on with someone can slip with just because of that also. So for maximum safety, ensure that everything is stored in its proper place. Good lighting is essential throughout the home. Consider using night lights to enhance safety in bedrooms and bathrooms. And always keep in mind that in night, whenever you go inside the bathroom, so you have a proper lighting, so you can save yourself if anything is fall anything is on floor, so you can detect it and you can protect yourself from that. After this, we are going to learn about the safety habits in school, at school. So now we are going to learn about the safety habits which we have to perform at school. So first, we should prioritize safety while at school. So always we have to keep in mind that our safety is our priority. Otherwise, our bag or anything else, okay? In corridors and on stairs, walk instead of running in corridors. Always keep in mind, in your corridors, you don't need to be rushed while with this your end of the school. So always keep in mind, you have to just start a smooth walk on your corridors. Never run, okay. Avoid crowding. Never ever go inside any kind of crowding. You just have to take yourself away from that, okay. Refrain from the throwing paper or other objects on the floor to prevent slips and falls. So always keep in mind that you have to refrain from the throwing paper or the other objects. On stairs, take one step at a time. If necessary, hold the handrail. So what happened? You have to don't jump and you don't need to skip two or three stairs at a time. Always keep in mind, you have to take one step on stairs by taking the help of handrails, okay, if there is. Now what are the safety rules which we have to perform in the classroom? Avoid leaving scissors or other pointed tools on chairs or desks while they could injure someone. For example, he would just left with your scissors and other day someone sitting on them, so what will happen? It will cause that person a injury. So always keep in mind, your pointed things, your sharp things, your scissors should be at the place there would be. After this, what we have to keep in mind, that refrain from throwing items like pencils, pens or paper clips at other students, as thrown objects can cause serious eye injuries. Because if you thrown the pencil to the other students, what will happen? The nib pointed, the needle of the pencil will go inside the eyes of the other students or your as well, and it will result to high problems in your eyesight. Use care when entering or leaving the classroom, avoiding pushing or pulling. Always keep in mind that you have to move one by one. Don't just make a crowd and go inside the classroom, so it will hurt you. Report broken chairs or desk promptly, and if you in your classroom you have any kind of broken desk or anything, so you have to tell it to your class teacher. Now we are going to learn about the safety rules on the road. So observe traffic lights and look both ways before crossing the road. Cross streets only at a zebra crossing. Walk on the pavements or sidewalks, not on the streets. Avoid playing on the street. So what we have to keep in mind, that we have to avoid playing on the streets. First thing, whenever we want to cross the road, we always use the zebra crossing. And always keep in mind that you don't have to walk on center of the road. Always keep always choose the sidewalk of the road. Okay, and always keep in mind that you have to follow the traffic rules. Okay. Next, when traveling by car, always use a seat belt, buckle up before the car moves, and always keep in mind that whenever you are sitting with your father, so you have to buckle up your seat belt. Be sure the car door is closed and locked. Stay seated and keep the belt on until the car stops, and don't move like this. Sit properly with your belt. Okay. Next, while traveling by school bus, wait for the bus in safe place. Keep your arms and head inside the bus window. Speak quietly and remain in your seat. So always keep in mind, don't get loud. Okay, in your school bus, you have to sit properly and you have to keep your arms inside the window. Your hand and your head and your arms always keep inside in the bus, never taken out the window. Okay. After this, now we are going to learn about the first aid. If we have any kind of injury, what are the initial steps which we have to perform? So first aid is the immediate help given to an injured person before the arrival of doctor. Okay, as the time period between arrival of the doctor, so those the help given by you to the another person, that is referred as your first aid. Okay. Now, first aid gives temporary relief from the pain. It can reduce bleeding. It can prevent serious injury. It saves the injured person's life. So that is why we are using first aid before arrival of the doctor. If we proceed with, if we prevent its bleeding, if we prevent its serious injury, or if we save the someone life, so it is very good. Okay. So now we have to see what we have to do while we doing our first aid to a injured person. Okay. So so first of all, we have to let the injured person away from the crowd. Always keep in mind your injured person should not be present in a crowded area. Okay. Next, give the injured person all the confidence and comfort that it is. So when we feel when we are in pain, so we are uncomfortable, right? And we are just worry so many things at a time. So what you have to do, you have to calm your injured person first, and then you have to proceed with your first aid kit. So if the injury or wound is not serious, take him to a clinic. If the person is badly injured, send someone to call a doctor immediately. If the injured is bleeding, tie a clean handkerchief or bandage over the wound. Loss of blood is harmful. Raise the wound part to a higher level than the heart after the first aid. Take the injured person to the doctor. Always do as the doctor says. So always keep in mind that first of all you have to classify, is this a serious condition or not. If this is not a serious condition, then you have to visit to a clinic. Otherwise, if it is a serious condition, then you have to tell someone to call doctor, and meanwhile you have to see is there any kind of bleeding. If this happened, then you have to take a handkerchief and you have to band-aid in the wound part. And after this, if the bleeding it's not stopped, so what you have to do, you have to make sure that the injured part should be raised upper at the heart level. Okay. And after that, you have to visit as soon and as possible to the doctor. And always keep in mind, you have to do only those steps which is advised by doctor as a first aid. Now, what you have to do if you get injured at your home or at your school place, so you have to tell always your elders are in school, you have to tell this situation to your principal or your teacher. Okay. So they are able to provide you first aid. After this, what are the things we have to keep in our first aid kit? So these are the things we have which we have to keep in our first aid kit: the adhesive bandage, plaster bandages and cotton, band-aid strips, tincture iodine, Burnol and other burn ointment, Dettol or antiseptic lotion, some safety pins, painkiller or spray, and tablets. So these are the things which we have to keep in our first aid kit and proceed with it. So students, this is the end of your chapter. I hope so you like this chapter and understood it very well. Now I'm going to meet you in your next class. Till that, bye bye. Have a good day.